Hey folks, it's Eko here. I know that we've all had that Horde base or crafting area or just general place that we really liked and we wanted to hold on to it. In this video, I'm going to leverage the farm that I built on the 3rd season of my community server. In this video, I will walk you through how to take this farm, rip it out of this world, package it up, send it over to the Prefab Editor, make any changes that you need there, and then have it ready for another world. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to press F1, and then you're going to type DM, and you're going to see it say debug mode on. Once you do that, you can press Q to put you into God mode, and that's going to let you fly around your base, and that's going to be important for this next part. So the next thing we're going to want to do is highlight our base. In order to do that, you're going to want to go to one of the corners of your base, and you're going to press Z, and it's going to create this little blue box here. And this is going to be a bounding box. So you're going to do this here, and then we're going to swing around all the way to the back of the base, back to this corner, and we're going to press Z here, and you're going to see it's going to make a bounding box. Now, I could export this bit, but if you did, you would just get that single lane that exists there. So we want to get the whole thing. So we got to make sure that we concern ourselves with the elevation of this all. So if you hold down Shift and G, you're going to see this come up, and now you have to hold down Shift and G. And from here, you can drag the different cardinal directions and then the elevation bits and pull it up. Now, if you just press G, it's going to move the box instead of allowing you to expand the box. So that covers most of our area here. I want to make sure it comes all the way up to the street, though, so that we get those front little pieces. And I want to make sure we get the wagon at the front. And that looks good. Now, the one thing that you'll want to check is if your base extends below the ground. So you can clip through the ground if you come through like this, and then again, hold Shift and G. And let's just go one block underneath to make sure that we get everything that we want. So now, if you had your base extend lower, you could carry it all the way down as far as you needed to. So now that we have everything highlighted, and we'll just double check this back fence looks good. And then we're going to hit escape, and we're going to go export prefab. And then we're going to give it a name. So we're going to call this the Eko Farm, not the Farm. Now, you won't likely have this save on server unless you are actually pulling this off of a server, in which case you will need to have admin rights to be able to go in and do this. So I'm just going to do this as save locally because this is the common use case. And once you do that, it's going to export everything, and I'll pick up in a second and show you where to find that. But I also do want to talk about some of the nuances. And once you're done doing this, if you want to get rid of this blue box that's here, you just press the delete, not the delete key, the backspace key, and that box will go away. So a few things to notice, because we're going to show what this looks like in the Prefab Editor. Take note that we had a sledge turret here. Also take note that in here we had all these boxes that are labeled and currently have loot in them. This will be important as I show you what this looks like in the Prefab Editor. So let's jump over there and show you that. So if you haven't used the Prefab Editor, I'm going to show you really quickly how to get there. So on the loading screen of 7 Days to Die, you're going to go into Editing Tools and then Level Prefab Editor. Now this is going to look differently depending upon whether you've played in here or not, because it's going to pull up the last prefab that you had opened. So once this is opened, if you haven't had a prefab, you might load in here and say, oh my gosh, there's nothing here. And that's perfectly fine. Just hit escape. And then you're going to come over here to the 4th tab, which is the prefab browser. And then over here, you're going to go and search for whatever you just named your creation. And you might have to scroll through it. The search is a little bit weird here. But in this case, we're going to pick up Eko Farm. And you're going to see it says from user data path. And this just means that it was a locally saved prefab. So we're going to select this, and then we're going to click load. And then boom, we have our farm. And you notice it immediately puts you straight into God mode. Now, A few things that I'm going to note right off the bat here, which is very, very important as you're building prefabs and exporting them and importing them. A few things that this can't do. Number one, you notice, I think this said take a dump here or something along those lines from my community. That sign is no longer there. So any signs that you had in the world will be blank. Additionally, any boxes that you have that were writable, these will also be no longer labeled. They will also be jammed. Additionally, these will be empty, so they won't have any of the contents that they previously had in them. And then if you look at these, same thing. These all had all the standard implements that you would use for cooking. Those are all gone. So basically no storage containers persist. Additionally, if you had any electrical wiring, that will be gone. The associated relays and generator banks and arrays and stuff like that will all still be there, just not connected. Also, arrays, generator banks, battery banks, none of those will have the associated batteries or solar panels or engines that would have been there, as those are also considered containers. So if you have a base with complex electricity, you're going to have to figure out how to rewire that once you re-import it into another world. So that is the basics, folks, and I will just show you one last thing, which is where to find your files. So once you're done editing your POI, you're going to want to find the files so that you can share them or import them to another world somewhere else. You come down here and type to search, and then you're going to type percentage app data percentage. And then you're going to do a backslash and 7 days to die. You can go straight there, and that's going to pull you up a folder. Inside of this folder, you're going to see generated worlds, local prefabs, saves, and saves local. So we'll get into some of that in other videos, but for this one, we want to look in the local prefabs folder. So this is going to have a number of different files depending upon how many prefabs you've saved or exported. So in this case, we just have Eko Farm. So if you want to send it to someone, the easiest way to do is just to highlight everything, right click, and then come down here and you send it to a compressed zipped folder. And that's going to button everything up into one simple package that you can send across to them. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have, please consider liking and subscribing. Also look up above. There should be a link up there that will show you the video that I made, which will teach you how to re-import what you've exported here into another world. With that, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care, and Eko's out.